when I look at our communities torn apart. You know, last month in August we talked about the out-of-towners came in and tore up our community. Well, our community's got to take some responsibility for what happened tonight. As far as tearing our community apart.
The city of Ferguson, Missouri will live forever as a racial flashpoint in American history. Makes no difference your side of the debate. Now, with so many new questions about why certain decisions were made for the announcement of those grand jury findings and what must happen next in seeking some form of healing. It is a pleasure to welcome back to MidPoint a man who is determined to repair his hometown. The former mayor of Ferguson, Missouri, Brian Fletcher, joins us. Mr. Mayor, I thank you so much for joining us at what must be an exceptionally difficult time for you. And I can only imagine and would like you to tell us a little bit what it was like to watch your town burn.
It was a disaster, quite frankly. The governor was ill-prepared to handle what he said he would do, and that was to protect the business owners and the residents. He indicated he'd have the National Guard. We never saw the National Guard. I've not seen the National Guard even yet, although it was deployed in St. Louis City itself. It was not deployed in Ferguson, where the unrest has started and continued the protesting for these past 3 months.
Does it seem to you as if perhaps the plan was to protect certain buildings, such as the City Hall, the police department, but let everything else burn? Just let it go?
No. The City Hall was not protected per se. The community center was not protected. Many of the public buildings were not protected. There was not enough law enforcement available to protect. The protesting has been occurring in front of the police department, so that's primarily why the police officers and the State Highway Patrol and St. Louis County Police were in front of the police department, because the protesters were in front of the police department.
But to make clear, you never saw the National Guard, and as far as you are aware, the National Guard was never deployed.
They were deployed apparently in the city of St. Louis itself. We are part of St. Louis County. The city of Ferguson is a municipality of about 20,200. And we did not see the National Guard. This is where the primary destruction was occurred. Over 20 buildings were either completely burned out or partially burned out. And the remainder of West Florissant, the windows were broken, the stores were looted, and on Florissant Road, primarily the same thing.
How angry are you right now after being promised by the governor and by the people in a position of authority that they would protect your home and they failed?
Well, as a lifetime Democrat, 16 years the Democratic committeeman for this township, I would call for the governor, who is a Democrat's, resignation. He is an embarrassment to our state and to our city, and should not be allowed to maintain the office of the highest position in our state.
What about local police officials, local authorities? Did they do enough?
They did. They have been asking for help. They've been primarily ignored by the governor, not returning phone calls. The governor announced a Ferguson commission last week. He announced it in the city of Ferguson, yet he did not invite the mayor of Ferguson nor the police chief of Ferguson. A slap in the face, throwing us under the bus, and giving the image that we were expendable.
Do you feel that specifically, you feel as if you personally and the people of Ferguson were just thrown under the bus and run over by your government?
No doubt. We were definitely thrown under the bus. We apparently were expendable. I do not know and I do not understand, because he promised our mayor and our elected officials that he would have protection here. It would have taken nearly 200 National Guard to seal the city off, and this all would have been prevented because vehicles would not have been able to enter the community.
In your opinion, how stupid was it to announce this at night?
About as dumb as you possibly can get. You should have done this early in the morning, so the school districts would have had a chance to cancel school. Employers would have a chance not to send their employees to work. To announce it under the cover of darkness was about as stupid as you could possibly get. Anyone with any intelligence should understand that.
We've got about 20 seconds left. Did you cry when you saw your town burning?
I've cried several times, not just once. I've done that over the last 2 months, and I've done it again today. Whenever I see the tears of a mother's eyes, it just it makes you cry. It does. It is so hard. Please help us.
Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you for your time. We want to remind everybody the I Love Ferguson Committee, that's what you're in charge of. That's what you're trying to make happen to repair your city. I thank you for your comments, and we will talk again soon.
Thank you.
It's the former mayor of Ferguson, Missouri, Brian Fletcher.